Sorry, guys. I didn't think it was working. uh, it is working. Yay. How embarrassing. Welcome to my life. Oh, all right. I'm going to mute this so you don't hear me twice. How is everybody doing? I hope everybody's doing good. Okay. What is up? Hey. Hello, hello. I was clearly not prepared, as usual. It's just the way it is. What a day. Oh my goodness. I have my dogs. They're in here with me. And it is going to storm tonight. I don't know when exactly that is going to start. But if it gets a little too loud or crazy, I am probably going to have to end recording because it will be loud and one of my dogs is very much afraid of storms and I don't want him to freak out. You know, all the good things. So I don't know why this wasn't like working, but it is now. Um People are texting me, they're like, it's working, yay. Yes, it's working. It's working. That is correct, Michael. Very much working. Hey, Tech. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, Robbie. Everybody like, it's working. This is cool. I'm kind of like switching between my two things, and it's saying that I have like messages on here. I mean, I can see it obviously on YouTube. I don't know how I'm responding to it on there, but it's fine. You know, it is what it is. So, welcome to the first kind of just chill live stream of the new channel podcast. To be completely honest, I'm still not sure exactly what I want to do with this. It is what it is. I think I just kind of go through life figuring it out as we all do, and I kind of do it, I guess, a little bit more randomly than most people. I feel like when I started with Tales of the Force, I was very prepared and like I tried to be very like I don't know, very professional. Not that I'm not going to be professional now, but like I kept it very like chill and I didn't get into anything too like I don't want to say like controversial, but I kept it very like low key. And I'm kind of over that right now. So I feel like this is going to have like a different vibe. It's like gonna be low key, but it's not at the same time. I feel like I've gotten a little bit more comfortable like in the community and have kind of come into my own a little bit with everything. Hey Ryan and Cameron, everybody. And I don't know, I feel like I'm kind of finding my place a little bit more within what I'm comfortable with and what I'm not. I'm going to say I'm a lot because I haven't recorded and I haven't spoken in this capacity in a while. So there's going to be, a lot of just filler words and random things. And that's okay because life is never perfect and we're never perfect and we're never on all the time. And that's okay. Um, it is Friday. How has everybody's week's been? Or week? Oh, the art. Yes, I have this is Jason um Palmer, I think. He made like the really big banner um for the 40th anniversary like Star Wars celebration. He's super nice. I actually met at my first con, which was MegaCon 2024. Yeah, I don't know why I decided that to be my first one, but I did. And I met him, honestly, like had no idea who he was and just started talking to him about my idea of having a podcast. So like initially I wanted to start a podcast and go over like Star Wars books because as if you haven't figured out, I have ADHD and so I used to be in the habit of reading a lot when I was a kid, and I kind of got out of that as an adult. And I kind of wanted to have a way to keep myself accountable to read the Star Wars books. And I thought, oh, well, I can do a Star Wars podcast. My friend Michael, who's in the chat, I was on his for a while, guest on his podcast. Called A Certain Point of View, and that kind of got me back into Star Wars more on this level. And when that kind of went on hiatus, I kind of wanted to do one and I thought about doing the books. And then I went to MegaCon and um, pivoted after I went to the Clone Wars panel. And I was really inspired by people who were sharing their stories about how the Clone Wars, which we all know is like such an incredible show, had really touched their life. And then by meeting people in line, waiting for things and, waiting to meet people, different things like that, I just loved talking to them about their story because that's something that I've just always kind of naturally done with people is talk to them and get to know them on kind of a personal level and kind of see like what makes them who they are, how they got to the place that they are in life. That's just who I am as a person. And so Star Wars really isn't any different. I'm already, what movie do you like? And it's more than just like, what is your favorite? It's more, why do you like it? And for me, mental health is such a huge thing. And so, again, going back to that panel, so many people told so many stories about how Clone Wars had helped them, especially with their mental health. And Ashton, who I'm now friends with online, was someone who spoke from the audience at that panel. And she works with children in the mental health field. And I was really touched by her story. And then a veteran that spoke about his story and how um, Rex's story helped him kind of share with his family about his PTSD. And so I just really decided that I really wanted to highlight people's stories with Star Wars, the fans. And it can be any kind of fan. It doesn't have to be someone that's on social media. It doesn't have to be someone with a platform, with a podcast, a YouTube channel. It doesn't have to be an actor or someone who's involved in the process, but it can be. It can be any of those things. And I just thought, why not kind of make like a love letter in a sense to Star Wars by people being able to share um, their story and why they love it. And maybe in some way that can help bridge the gap between people hating on a movie and understanding why someone likes it and someone doesn't. Because we all have different stories, we all have different things that we go through in life at different times. And that really affects how we view not just the world around us, but art and the things that we consume. And I don't know, I just thought there needs to be a space for this. And that's kind of what I have tried to do with Tales of the Force when it was Tales of the Force. And then I went through a lot of things the end of that year. I won't get into it too much here because I do want to keep, some things personal, but also be open about my life. But I went through a divorce the end of 2024, and that was very difficult. It was very hard thing to go through. And I know I've had a lot of people come on the podcast that have gone through that as well. And yeah, I moved. Not somewhere completely different, but moved and kind of had to start my life completely over again. And so that's one of the reasons why there's kind of been um, a lack of podcast episodes. It's why it's been hard for me to release some of the ones that I have not released yet because they're in my old room. And that's just kind of like hard to mentally process editing an episode, and in a place that I used to be and all the memories that are associated with that. So, um, yeah, that's kind of like honestly one of the biggest reasons why. And um I don't know, like with that change has come, new challenges and also new things, new friendships, new relationships. My boyfriend I met through the Star Wars community. We were friends, and I won't get into that too much on here because I am going to have him come on the podcast and we'll share a lot more about that in his episode. But I did. I met him through a friend. We were like 100% just friends. And I always say on social media, like and I know you're watching this, so don't get mad at me. But and I know you won't because like you're not that type of person. But literally, like the best surprise that has ever happened in my life. One of the best things that's ever come out of Star Wars and the Star Wars community. And yeah, I'm so my life has just been completely blessed and um made so much better by him being in my life, and that is because of this community. I wouldn't have met him if it wasn't for this, which is honestly crazy. And I wouldn't have met any of you guys that are tuning in. Hey, Lane. Lane is wonderful. Everyone on in the chat is wonderful. So I'm really thankful for all of y'all uh tuning into this rambling of a live. Um so yeah, that's some of the stuff that I've been through. So I have like a new setup, a whole new thing, and I thought why not go ahead and change the podcast a little bit. So I'm not sure if I'm going to keep the same exact format of people just like coming on and sharing their story, because like so many people that I've had on, I want them to come on again. And it's like if you do it where you just share your Star Wars story and that's like it kind of limits that a little bit. So um I am trying to figure that out still. And it's hard for me because I'm a perfectionist, and I'm the type of person that if I'm not going to do it perfect and right the first time, I do not do it. Um and I've learned to kind of let go a lot of that from doing the podcast initially, that it's not going to be perfect. Like tonight, like I couldn't get this to sync with, the studio that I use, and I didn't really prepare. I wasn't really ready. Life has been crazy, but you don't you got to start somewhere again, and starting over I feel like is just as hard as starting for the first time, because it's like I've done this before but now it's different, and I don't have as very specific of a viewpoint of what I want this to be as I did before, and I think that's okay. I'm very intentional with everything that I do. I started a business as well this last year. Um, so 2024 went to my first con, got way into that, started a podcast, got divorced, moved in 2024, 2025, kind of put the podcast on hold, continued to go to cons, um, started a new relationship, started a business. Now it's 2026 and I'm starting this back up again. And I have some other things that I have kind of in the works too. So it's been a lot. And I'm very thankful for the communities to stick around and follow me through all of this and my craziness of I don't know, figuring it out. So initially I wanted the Rebellion of Hope to kind of be a little bit more edgier than Tales of the Force. Kind of get in the trenches a little bit more with, how people don't like it if you're positive about all the movies, or if people don't like it if like this or like that. And um kind of like holding my own with that a little bit more. And I still want it to be like that, and I still want our goal to be like the whole point of Star Wars is hope, and that, hope is what lights, the fire that, is the resistance or the rebellion. And I think in today's world, with everything going on, that's definitely needed. And um, I think it's important for people to be able to kind of take a stand in whatever form or fashion they feel comfortable with, because we all are different and we all have our own ways of bringing light and positivity and change and justice and action into the world. And I'm just trying to do the best that I can with that. I am not perfect. I'm going to make mistakes. I'm very open and honest about my life and the mistakes that I've made. I think you can ask anybody that I know that I own up to those very easily, because I don't want my ego to get in the way of things. I think when your ego gets in the way, it can cause a lot of problems. It can make you not genuine. It can make you like put on a mask and act like you're someone that you're not. It can make you go after things in a way that you normally wouldn't. And I know I've been there. I'm not perfect. I've definitely done things with not the best intentions or not the best motives. And, I think having friends that will check you, or having someone in your life that will check you, and have family members that will check you is like so important. And not everybody likes that when you do it. And I am somebody that I'm going to speak up on that, like I want to build a community. This isn't about likes. This isn't about I forgot that button was there. This isn't about likes or followers. Like, obviously, that is a part of being on social media, but that's not a goal for me with this project. Because I want it to truly be about community. I don't want to ever be accused of being a grifter, because those people are out there. And when you are telling someone's story and you are letting someone have a space where they can be vulnerable, even if it has to do with Star Wars, I want it to be safe. And I'm sorry, like, making money off of this is not my goal. If that ever happened to where there was some kind of profitability to this channel or podcast, I would probably turn it into like a nonprofit. And I think it's fine for everyone to pay themselves for their time, but anything other than that would go probably to like a mental health organization or something like that. That's kind of what I've thought through if this gets to that point. But going viral for myself with this project is not the goal. I want to highlight people, and I want to highlight what we love, and that is Star Wars, and how it has such a power to bring us together. My parents were in their 20s when it came out in the 70s, and I love talking to them about it, because they sit back and they think, "Oh my gosh, like I never imagined that something we saw in the theaters that was honestly supposed to kind of flop and not be this big thing. Like, no one knew what it was. No one expected it to be this thing. And to see it turn into this massive franchise, and to see their daughter become, a part of it to extent that I'm doing this. And I, went to Star Wars Celebration last year, and I have a wonderful friend, my friend Shelly, who, asked me to be on her panel, and that was incredible. It was an incredible experience. And getting to meet some of the people that have been in Star Wars, like I never this is a problem. Having this is a problem. I talk with my hands too much and I'm going to mute myself. So I'm going to try to spin. There we go. See, it's raw. It's real. It is what it is. Um, I mean, as a teenage girl, I never thought I'd meet Hayden Christensen once, let alone a couple of times. And, that was great. Um, I didn't think I'd get to meet Ashley, who voices Ahsoka. I mean, I have Ahsoka tattooed on my arm. I love Ahsoka. Ahsoka has given me so much hope through all of this. And yeah, I don't know. I'm still figuring out what I want to do, what I want this format to be, what all the things that I'm going to include in this channel podcast. If I still want to do audio, if I want to do audio or just video. I don't know. If I just want it to be live. I don't know, but y'all are here. We're going to figure it out together. um oh, you guys are so nice. Well, thank you. I try to be a positive force. It's hard sometimes. It can be frustrating, but it's like you just got to keep going. You got to keep going. Um, yes, I did get to host a panel at Rebel Scum Con. Rebel Scum Con was so amazing too. That was very last minute. They had an open slot, and I met the guys at San Diego Comic Con, and they so graciously were like, "Hey, we have an open spot. Would you like to take it?" And I said, "Sure." And I literally had 2 weeks to come up with that panel. And I basically just asked some of my friends, I was like, hey, I've got a panel. Let's make it about women in Star Wars, like the Star Wars community, and kind of like what we deal with, what we go through, what it's like. And they all graciously said yes, and it was really fun. I had a really great time. Um, I don't know that I'll be doing another panel this year or not, or what capacity that I'll be like officially involved with Rebel ScumCon, but I am going to be there, and I am very excited about it. It is such a fun convention. Highly recommend. The guys that put it on are incredible. They love Star Wars with all their hearts, and they very much want it to be like a safe and good con for people to attend, which I very much appreciate, especially as like a woman in the fandom. Um, let's see. Oh, Leo's gonna sniff. Hi, Leo. Are you gonna say hi? Are you gonna like Leo ASMR this? Hi, buddy. Yellow sniffs. Are you over being in this room? I'm sorry. Sorry, the dog voice is gonna come out. You cannot be trusted on your own. You get into things and you do naughty things. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. He's a cute one, but he's a mess. As we like to say in the South, he's a hoot and a half. And then this is Zoe. She will be 10 next month, which I can't believe. My sweet girl. Um, yeah, I know a lot of you guys are going to be at Rebel ScumCon. I'm so excited to see everybody again and to go. It was so, so, so much fun. Gonna lay down? Okay, good boy. Yeah, I'm trying to think. I know there's like the mall show coming out. A lot of people are starting their cons this weekend. Um, and then a lot of people are going to be going to MegaCon. I will not be able to go this year. Um, I will be at WonderCon. I'm excited about that. Um, hey, Carly. It's so weird because, like, as I record, it's, like, ahead, so I see y'all's stuff late. I'm sorry. Um, Carly was on my panel at Rebel Scum. Carly is an amazing human being. She is so sweet and kind and super supportive, and we all know she's super super duper skilled with the lightsabers, something I am not. I am not. I am not skilled at. Ugh. I can't wait to see everybody at cons and all the things. I'm excited. I'm excited to get back into the swing of all of this stuffs. Um, are y'all reading any fun Star Wars books? I have a quite the collection. But unlike General Grievous and his collection of lightsabers that he can use, I have not read most of my books. So I don't know. Maybe we could do like a book. Could we do a book club? Could that be something fun we could do? Hello, hello. More people. Aw, I'm glad that you loved the panel. It was so fun. I did not I didn't really have notes prepared. I felt bad. Master of Evil. Do I have that? I feel like I do. I probably do. Book club, yes. Okay, okay. That's something we can do. Brotherhood, I definitely have that. Have not read it again. Um yeah, I'm like looking at all my books over here. It's a problem. I think I don't need to let myself buy anymore until I read them. I also got The Rise and Fall of the Galactic Empire, and I need to read that. There's so many books. So many. It's a problem. But yeah, a book club I think could be fun. I'm trying to think of all the things. I'm thinking like a book club. I think it would be fun to do like different little activities also, like as lives, like whether it's like coloring a Star Wars coloring book together or building like Legos together or oh yeah, I have Bloodline. I do have that. Yeah, I have quite a bit of books and I need to read them. It's kind of a problem. I don't know. A book club could be good. Um oh yeah, and my friend Crystal does incredible Star Wars makeup, so maybe she could come on. We could do like she could try to help me. I'm really bad at makeup. People like Carly, maybe like lightsaber tutorial. I don't know. I know you do that on your own channel, but I mean, it'd be kind of funny for you to like try to show me how to do it. And I fumble and break things, and my dogs run away. Yes, Star Wars coloring books. They're good. Star Wars library stream. Yeah, I need to show this room. I've been working on it so hard and I'm actually like really proud of it. I have these really cool like bookshelf things that I got that have the look of what I like, but I did not want to spend the money on like the actual ones. And Robbie sweetly, I put one of them together and he sweetly put the other one together because I decided I needed two instead of just one. And yeah, a lot of fun things. I'm trying to think. So like people telling their Star Wars stories is gonna stay a focus, for sure. Um, maybe books. I don't know. I just keep touching this and I keep muting myself and I need to stop. Star Wars Lego builds. Yes. Okay. I need the patience for it first though, but Brent, nerdy Brent, he just posted a reel recently about him doing one of the Millennium Falcons and like it's a like the instructions are like a book with a binder. And I have all these beautiful Star Wars puzzles and I want to pull my hair out like halfway through. I don't know if it's my ADHD. I don't know what it is, but like I get over it very fast. And so I don't know if like would be the same thing. But thankfully he responded on one of my comments. He thankfully said like I hate puzzles, but I like Lego. So maybe Lego I can do. Maybe. I don't know. It would be fun. I don't know. I feel like there's such a fun community of so many different things. I mean, I know people that make incredible cosplays, and I know people that do so many fun things, and it's like Star Wars activities together. That could be fun, right? I don't know. And I also think it'd be fun to do like live stream, like watch something together. I know a lot of people do that, but I feel like a lot of us in the Star Wars community do not live in the same area. And so if we're not at a convention, we don't get to hang out, as much. And I think it would be fun to do as much as we can virtually. I don't know, make it more. I don't know. I just, like I said, this is not about making money. This, for me, this is not about. Um, being like known in the community or getting a big following. I genuinely want this to be a way for us to build community together. Um, and I don't want to cheapen that in any way, I guess. That's what I think I was talking about before we got into the books. This is why I need a script, you guys. This is why I need a plan. Oh, yeah, watch party. Yeah, that'd be fun. Um, So many people do so many things. People paint miniatures. My boyfriend does that. I know there's so many other people that do that. I don't know. There's so many fun parts of everything. But I do want the focus to be like bringing the fandom together. Like a little of my millennial heart. I can't do the other. Not very good. And then, like, I can't. I'm a millennial. I'm sorry. I can't do this one. Maybe, maybe I can do it. Can I? I don't know. Am I doing it? I think I'm doing it. Look at me. And my 30s doing art, guys. I don't know. I'm embracing the crazy, I think, a little more than I used to. I used to like hide it a lot more, and I'm just gonna go for it. But yes, bringing the community together is really important to me because some of my really close friends, um, we don't like the same Star Wars movies as much, and that's okay. And some of us do, and some of us can't stand certain things about different projects. And you know what? We're still friends. It's possible, people. It's possible. Um, I think online discourse can be a lot better with just like how we phrase things. And I think the easiest way to help with that problem is to bring back the humanity of people behind the screens. And this was something we talked about a little bit at that Rebel Scum panel, is like people online, I'm going to say this in the kindest way possible. Um, they don't owe you anything. They don't. You don't have to be my friend. I don't have to be your friend. I don't like, we don't owe each other anything. However, when community gets in, like when a community is built, that kind of changes that dynamic. Instead of it just being, I make content, you look at my content, you think we're friends, and it turns into this like parasocial relationship, and just things can be weird. And I don't want it to be that way. I want people to understand that like people are real behind the screens, and everyone is going to set up. Here's the other thing I'm going to say. What I do with my Instagram, with my social media, with my YouTube and podcast is going to be different than what someone else does. That doesn't make me better. It doesn't make them better. It doesn't make it the right way, the wrong way. So a lot of people, this is their job. This is their job. This is how they make money. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm not saying that everyone, when I say that I don't want to do this and like be seen as like a grifter off of people's stories. I am not saying that if this is your career that makes you a grifter, and no, I want to correct that. That's not what I'm saying. I think everybody in this chat and people listening like know the difference between someone who is like genuine and love what they do, because that's all of our goal, right? Everybody wants to have a job that they love what they do. Who wouldn't want to have a job where they're online or whatever capacity it is, and they're making money off of something they love, like Star Wars, whether it's interviewing people, whether it's making content, art, um being involved in the movies themselves. I mean, that's a goal for anyone that's a fan, and I'm not knocking that by any way, shape, or form. Um, Everybody has a different purpose, I believe, with their life, and a different thing that they're gonna do. I'm still figuring mine out in my 30s, and that's okay. Um, I'm not here knocking that by any means. So like when I say that like what I want to build is a community, and I want it to be where people interact with each other, and I want it to be real and genuine, and us to learn like how to have a healthier like online presence. I also am holding space and recognizing that people set different boundaries. And just because that's what I want to do does not mean that someone who has a different channel or different whatever can't set a different boundary. And I think we need to all understand that we all have different capacities and boundaries when it comes to anything online spaces, and we need to be respectful of each other of that. So by no means is what I'm doing a dig at someone else. This will probably never be a reaction channel. Um, that's not my thing. Um, I love it when people do it though. I love seeing people react to stuff. Um, and the new movies and the new shows and trailers and everything like that. I love it. I'm here for it. Keep doing it. I'm not going to do it. That doesn't mean I don't like it. That doesn't mean I'm dissing anybody who does, because it's not my thing, but it's other people's things, and I love it. And I am never knocking someone by like just doing something different. Yeah, that was a long rant for I don't even know what reason, but um I just want people to know that like they are supported in what they're doing, and online is such a weird thing to navigate. I mean, I remember when Facebook started, and it was started for college students initially, and I was like too young because I was in high school, I think. And then I remembered you had to have like your school address to be able to get onto Facebook. And um I was homeschooled. So I didn't have a school email. And so yeah, surprise, Jessica Lore drop right there. Um, and so I had to have like my best friend had to like invite me so that I could get on Facebook in high school when they opened it up to high schoolers. And there was like Zynga, there was MySpace. I loved Zynga. I loved that. I loved MySpace. I loved that you could like add music. I was like a little punk kid before emo, and I did all the depressing like cryptic, oh, this boy isn't talking to me, so this is what my, instant messaging is gonna say, and here are my cryptic lyrics from a song. I did that, it's fine. And it's turned into something in like online is it's insane. Like, and not necessarily in a bad way. Like it's opened up everything. I think with everything new that comes out, there's a fear behind that. And um that's understandable, like we want to use things responsibly. And I think it's important for all of us to use social media responsibly as best that we can. I get really defensive of people, like of my friends. I don't always defend myself, but I defend other people. And I've had to walk that back a little bit because I can get like heated when it comes to my friends and get in there in the comments and be like, hey, like you're not being nice and stop. Um, but I think if we can learn how to going back to like saying things a little bit better, like, oh, I don't love this, but I'm glad you do, or whatever. I don't know. I can get it. I'll get into these different things like probably more specifically, but like um Lane, I didn't know you were homeschooled too. Love it. We're nerds. It's okay. I remember when I went to college, and I went to like a smaller university at first, and I absolutely hated it with a passion and wanted to go to a big state university, which I ended up transferring to after my first year and absolutely loved it. And I remember people being like, "Oh my gosh, are you going to be okay? Like, are you going to be okay? Like, you were homeschooled and are you going to be okay around all those people?" Like, yes, I'm going to be fine. I'm a people person. I'm not like whatever. I mean, there's stereotypes everywhere. It is what it is. But like, yeah, I'm not your typical, I guess, like person in a lot of ways. Um, I'm sorry, catching up on the chat because like where I'm talking, I'm like ahead of you guys. Yes. Instant messaging, aim away messages. Ah, I see all those reels right now. It's like it's hilarious. Oh my gosh, this could be okay. Let's do this. Let's once we all catch up here. Aim away messages. Star Wars characters. All right. So, different Star Wars characters. What would they write if their crushes came online? And then, okay, for some of the people on here that are younger, not knocking you guys at all. We all have like different lived experiences, right? So you would go on to instant message and it was dial-up internet and it was very loud and it was very annoying and it was very slow. And you would log on and you would sit there and you would really hope that like your crush would get on so you could talk to them or whatever. And the worst feeling in the world was when you would open it up and you'd see their name pop up and then like it was this door noise and the door would close and they went away and you're like, no. Did they see me on and they hate me? And then you would go cry in your little corner and paint your nails black or whatever like emo punk thing that some of us did in our lives. I wasn't allowed to paint my nails black, so I sharpied them. That was my get around the system. Um anyways, Star Wars characters. What do you think their handles would be on instant messaging? And like what little like away messages would they write? What do we think? I'll wait till the chat catches up. ICQ. I don't remember ICQ. My little Ewok water. Also, hi Adam. Sorry, I didn't say hi. Not trying to ignore anyone. We just chilling. I also haven't eaten, so I probably need to like order food. So Obi-Wan, let's see. Busy Lane busy making sure Anakin doesn't destroy the Republic. That is very true. Oh, Leo, your little size. Had all three. Okay. Some of our friends are on one or the other. I didn't really use Yahoo Instant Message. I pretty much just used the AOL. I'm trying to remember what my handle was. I remember my Zanga was like discombobulated one or some stupid thing like that because, I'm a little discombobulated. I mean, I probably should have known I had ADHD back then, but I didn't. Hi, Crystal. Just here, chilling. Okay, so we were talking about instant messaging and what Star Wars characters would put their away messages as. I feel like, going back to like Lane doing the one for yeah, Anakin from Obi-Wan. I feel like anytime like Obi-Wan was like signed in and if he saw Anakin, he'd probably like sign out really fast. Be like, man, I wish I was cool enough to like doing the noises and stuff. It'd be like, I don't know. I don't know. That was horrible. I tried my best. I probably need to eat something. Oh, I'm under a tornado watch. Yay. That's fun. Yes, I'm the psycho from the south that stands outside and watches to see if the tornado is coming. Let's see here. Started about 30 minutes ago. So fun. Oh, it's all to the side of me. It's fine. We're fine. Everything's fine. It's not even storming outside. It's like to the north. We're good. Fuzzball. Fuzzball 77. BRB smuggling spice. Who's Fuzzball 77? Is that like Chewy? Is that Chewbacca? Yeah, Texas gets tornadoes too. The wild thing is like I have chronic migraines. Oh, that came out real southern. I have chronic migraines. Um and I can feel when the pressure like drops when a storm is coming and I could feel it today. I was like, "Oh, yeah, there's a storm coming." So that's something fun that I do with Robbie sometimes. I feel like maybe this could be something funny I did for this. We'll be driving around and we have time with Jessica Ruth and I just read road signs and stuff in a southern accent. And, how y'all doing? Oh, we don't have one of those here in Arkansas, cuz everyone's like, "Oh, the big city and going out to California." Yeah. Yay. Adam, I just Googled Star Wars instant messaging, and the first hit that came up was Stormtrooper is having a bad aim. That's funny. Oh my gosh. I'm so glad people have British accents in Star Wars and not like Southern accents. That would be something. I mean, I guess Cobb, what was it called? Vant? He kind of did. I don't know. I'm like behind in the chat. Taking drives with Jessica Ruth heals my soul. Y'all, it's probably gonna come out at some point on here. I need to come up with like a character. So that's more Jessica lore. As a kid, I had these like characters that I came up with, and I was an only kid, and that probably answers a lot of your questions about me. And I would do these skits, and yeah. So, Leo, what you doing, buddy? You're fine, baby. Come here. Come sit down. No, don't huff at me. Come here. Come here. No? Okay. Um, y'all are killing me in the chat. Leo is getting over this. I'm gonna have to let him out in a minute. Hey, buddy. Come here. Come sit with me. Come here. Come on. Don't hit your head on the table. Good boy. Yeah. You're so good boy. You're so good. I feel like Leo needs a Star Wars costume. Oh, you're gonna listen Leo ASMR? Hi. Oh my goodness. Oh yeah. He got an itch. Oh, thanks for stopping by. Yeah, I know it is getting late for some of us over here, but not the people on the West Coast. Yeah, Leo's being a butt. Yeah, I don't know. I guess reeling this back in a little bit from my weird ADHD-ness. Yeah, I'm not really sure what all I want to do with this, but it's fine. I'm sure people watching this after this comes out are gonna be like, "Oh my gosh, what is this?" Um, but it's fine. Ugh. I think one of the biggest things that I want to highlight and that I want to like have as a kind of a purpose of this, and I'll do this like in a more serious video, like a more recorded scripted thing, but I'll kind of talk about it a little bit, but like is just the fact that we all, like I've talked about, like we come from different places and stories and life experiences, and like we are all going to view Star Wars differently that way. And there is a lot of, I think, like tribalism right now in our society, and a lot of like us versus them, and that has trickled into the fandom a lot. And I don't think that we ever grow or in a good place as humans, as human beings, when we have that mindset. I think we are way much better together. And I think there is absolutely so much beauty in our differences and in our different perspectives and how we view the world. And I think that we can learn so much from each other. And if we just see it as an us versus them mentality, breaking that down into the Star Wars universe and the Star Wars community, being like, well, if you like these movies, you're a fake fan, or if you don't know this, you're a fake fan, or if you do this thing or don't do this thing, you're a fake fan, or if you don't have this stuff like I have, or if you don't know all the lore like I do, or whatever. And that is just such a like negative, like awful place to be, like miserable too. Like I don't want to live like that. And I hope that people can kind of like not live like that anymore, because we really are, as cheesy as it sounds, we are better together. And I think life is beautiful when it's diverse and different, and you have different voices sharing their experiences and their stories and why they love the things that they love. And um yeah, Adam, I think it comes down to a lot of people needing control in their lives, and it comes down to trying to control others content And fandoms online. Yeah, I think a lot of that comes from fear. And when you talk about that in the realm of Star Wars, like fear, we know what that leads to, right? Like, we've seen that played out with so many characters, and that's so true, and that definitely comes from like the ego and the psychology of things. And like, I won't get into the depths of that, but that is my Star Wars. So like, so many people have different things that they love. They love the lightsaber fights, they love like the action, totally valid. People love the movies, and they want to be at the movie, and they want to see it in the cinema, and they want to have a whole movie experience, and that's amazing too. And then other people love the shows, or they love the animation, or a mixture of all of it, or they love the games, or the lore, the comics, the art, the different things. My thing that just like is like, I don't know, I can be cheesy and say like the force within what I love in Star Wars is the psychology and the deeper meaning behind it. I can geek out and talk about that and go into that forever. I grew up around psychology because my dad is a therapist, and um I that's what resonates with me with Star Wars. I love it, and it to me it's so much more than the cool like special effects or CGI, or the I love the costuming. I love the set. I love all of those things too. But to me, like, what makes Star Wars special to me, and what I feel like really holds it together from my perspective and keeps generations coming back is that heart and soul of the deeper meanings in it. And that's what I love so much. And I want to get into that a lot more, because I think when we look at it from that psychological perspective of like Lucas's influences, whether it's Joseph Campbell or um, Jungian psychology, like, I don't know, I'm fascinated by that. I could sit and just like, a dream person to talk to would everyone in Star Wars dream person to talk to is Lucas, but for me it would be the psychology aspect of it. I would just love to sit down and talk to him about all of that. It's just fascinating to me, and I don't know. That's like that's my like really nerdy, meaty part of Star Wars is the psychology behind it and those influences. Yeah, yeah. hmm That's my jam. I'm gonna check the weather again. See what that's looking like. It's okay. Yes. Well, it's getting late, I know, for a lot of people, and I feel like I am just rambling, and the dogs need to go out and do their stuffs. Um, yeah, thanks for joining me on this lovely Friday night. Even though it didn't work a lot for people popping in, I will get back into the swing of this. I know I'm a lot rusty with getting it to be live, and I'll probably start seeing if I can find someone be a moderator so they can like help me with popping up all this stuff. I know the studio that I use online. Leo, did you just scare yourself? Dude, what did you do? Something can move and that dog freaks out. Anyways, yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna get more technologically savvy. I need to figure out all the new updates with everything that I use and get everything going better. But yeah, thanks for joining me and hanging out on this Friday night. And listening to me ramble and chatting with me about all the random stuffs. Um, yeah, I will be gone some next week. And so I was going to start releasing episodes next week, and I'm not going to do that yet. I also was going to release some that I already had recorded, but I kind of want to get some new ones, like some new stuff recorded, and kind of get things more in line with what I want this to be, as I figure that out. And then I'll probably bring in some of the, like, I think I have like maybe just one from Tales of the Forest that um, I haven't uploaded, and then I have some interviews from last year that I need to upload from LegacyCon, Legacy Expo, which was amazing, and I enjoyed talking to those people a lot. But I want to make sure that it fits in with everything. Um, First, they're about to start playing. Yeah. Um, so they have hit their limit. I'm sure all of you guys have hit your limit. I've been going for like, I think like an hour now at this point. So thank you guys for joining so much. Um, I don't even remember my tagline at this point. Just the words. Luminous beings we all are, not this crude matter. So be luminous beings. Do something nice for somebody tomorrow. Um, be the positive impact you can be. I know that's cheesy as all get out, but you know, it really does. It really does make someone's day, I think. Giving someone a compliment, you know, buy somebody's drink. Like, I don't know, do something nice for somebody tomorrow. It's Saturday. Go get brunch, live your life. Watch a movie, chill. I don't know. Have fun. I'll see you later. Bye.